design some more. Even though I was still a student carrying a full load of classes, I took all the work she could give me because I needed the money. And when I noticed how well my t-shirts with my design sold, I decided to do a little research about how to make t-shirts and eventually started my own little design business. My engineering degree seemed like it was the right thing for me to do, but my heart was in design. Over the next several years, two things happened. First, my business grew. It really grew. Not without a lot of hard work and the occasional setback that comes with running your own business. But I've served clients such as Starbucks, Burger King, and Oprah Winfrey, to name a few. But in the recent years, something else has begun to happen. As I've developed long-term relationships with some of my clients, highly successful CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, they started talking to me about their lives. I don't mean just their hobbies or their personal interests. That sort of thing is common among men. These guys were opening up to me about their marriages, their children, their beliefs, their frustrations, and their fears. I was taken aback at first, for obvious reasons. I thought that these guys had it all. Wealth, freedom, success, accomplishment. They generally were well respected in their communities and active in philanthropic endeavors that often brought them recognition and admiration. And yet, once they opened up to me, it was clear they weren't very happy. In fact, they were anything but happy. I remember one day when I got a call from a friend, I'll call him Michael, who is a successful executive who has built his business by inspiring others with his great vision and ability, and whom I respect for what he does for others. I nonchalantly asked him how his day was going, and he blew my mind when he responded, "Lewis, my professional life is great, but my personal life is hell." Wow. Here's a guy who really has experienced the American dream, but as far as he's concerned, it's become a nightmare. Like so many men, he did all the right things. Married, went to work to provide for his growing family, built a successful business that provides jobs for others, got involved in his community, and kept active in his church. By all accounts, at this stage in his life, he should be enjoying the fruit of all of his hard work. But he's miserable. As we talked, he let the title of a 2007 Tyler Perry blockbuster movie speak his thoughts. Why did I get married? What I thought was just a casual conversation with a friend turned into a confession that he was thinking about walking away from everything he had worked so hard to support. If my conversation with Michael had been an isolated incident, I guess I would just conclude that he made a few mistakes and was frustrated and leave it at that. But this sort of thing happens to me almost every week. Successful business leaders and other professionals open up to me, and many of them share the same story. Things couldn't be better at work, but my personal life is a mess. And believe me, this doesn't happen just with people I know. Many times I'll get a call from a perfect stranger, and he'll start the conversation with something like, "Michael told me I should give you a call." For whatever reason, I've become something of a confessional mentor to a lot of men from all walks of life. Just a few days before writing this, I was speaking to a small group of 80 CEOs and business executives about balance and life as a CEO at an event sponsored by a major national bank. At the conclusion of the event, at least 70 of them lined up to speak with me, many admitting to their own personal struggles. It was affirming, but it was also a little sad to realize that so much of what we see on the outside of a person does not always represent what's going on inside. On a recent business trip when I was flying home from Southern California, I grabbed a copy of Fortune magazine and noted it contained their Fortune 400 rich list. So I eagerly turned to the list and started reading the profiles of these extremely successful business leaders. One glaring statistic caught my attention. More than 100 of the 400 men had been divorced more than once. Stories like that confirm what I'm learning from the men who come to me for help. Success at work has little to do with success in life. I'm not really sure why men come to me except they see that I'm still married to the same woman I fell in love with when I was a young man, and that they know they can trust me. To be perfectly candid, the odds of staying married were against us. While I've been blessed with great parents, they divorced when I was 16, and my wife, Sharita, also experienced the divorce of her parents. Most marriage experts report that children of divorce are more likely to be divorced themselves. So why have Sharita and I been able not just to stay married for almost 13 years?